Never lose money due to market downturns. In this episode, I'm going to address the question, how to protect your retirement investments. Get ready, because I'm going to show you that when the market whipsaws back and forth, you can sleep at night because you're not losing money. You don't have to worry about the market crashing because you're immune from that if you learn what I'm going to teach you next. So my name's Doug Andrew. I've been a retirement planning specialist for more than 46 years, helping people prepare for their golden years and not outlive their money. At retirement planning is something totally different than maybe what you did for retirement planning. Oftentimes I am curing financial dis-ease when you're not at ease physically. We call that disease. Many people are not at ease financially because they don't know if their money will last as long as they do. So I've done many seminars, workshops, written many books on how to create predictable retirement income that will last as long as you do. But we need to make sure that we eliminate the dangers, the pitfalls, the hindrances, the roadblocks that prevent most people from depleting their retirement nest egg. And when they go to take money out and they don't realize, wait a minute, I have to keep paying taxes. I thought I was going to be in a lower bracket. And then they have to pay more and more and more because Congress keeps raising taxes. Or inflation. Wait a minute. I didn't realize the cost of living would double every 7 to 10 years, especially on the stuff I need, like prescriptions, things like that, healthcare costs. And they don't realize that, wait a minute, I made my money for retirement planning with my money in the market in yet to be taxed IRAs, 401ks and the like. I shouldn't have my money in the market for predictable cash flow, right? Right. At retirement planning, you want to get your money out of the market. You want to get the money out and the taxes over and done with sooner than later. But that is not the traditional advice. The traditional advice is, keep postponing, keep deferring, keep delaying, keep procrastinating paying tax. Now, I use the word procrastinate because that's not a good idea, right? Usually when I procrastinate something, it doesn't turn out well. Well, when you defer and you keep postponing until you're 72 years old, and now you have to start taking money out of your IRAs or 401ks, or the government's going to penalize you 50% on top of the tax. Did you know that? Then they say, then just take out the required minimum and string it out. You're going to learn why that's the worst advice I've ever heard. And so if you want to learn how to protect your retirement investments and not outliving your money, we need to eliminate the dangers of taxes, inflation, and market volatility. I'll show you how to do that with 3 opportunities or strategies that most financial advisors, even CPAs and tax attorneys, do not understand until they come through my advanced continuing education workshops. And when you learn these, you're going to go, oh my heavens. This will allow me to retire at peace and know with predictable cash flow how I can have double, maybe triple. Sometimes we've helped people quadruple or even have 5 times the net spendable income and not outlive their money. So put on your seatbelt. Here we go. So let's eliminate the first danger, taxes. A lot of people were told when they were advised to put money into tax-deferred IRAs or 401ks, put in pre-tax dollars into that 401k, take advantage of your employer match, which is okay, but a lot of people put in way more than they were being matched, and they were told, you'll be in a lower tax bracket when you retire. And that has really not been true for more than 25 years, but that's what they told you. The only people that I ever met that were in lower tax brackets when they retired are those that didn't save very much. Is that why you want to be in a lower tax bracket? Because you don't have anything? That was the false premise. And that's why in 1997, when Congress was hard up for money, Senator Harry Roth said, hey, I know how we can get some tax revenue. People are getting smarter. Let's show them an alternative to a traditional IRA or 401k, because people are realizing they're probably not going to be in a lower tax bracket when they retire. If you don't understand why, hello, okay, it's because we sort of go down the highway trying to achieve financial independence, let's say is the destination. We have one foot on the gas, but the other foot's on the brake. The foot on the gas is the tax-deferred IRA or 401k. Oh, we're using pre-tax dollars. It will grow to a bigger sum. Well, people don't subtract the negative impact of taxes and inflation and so forth. And so the other foot's on the brake pedal, ironically, because simultaneously, you are getting rid of your tax deductions. Most people pay off their house the wrong way. They do it by sending extra principal payments to the mortgage company, killing their tax deduction. I keep my tax deductions high, and I have my house paid off way faster by putting it in a side fund, compounding. Anytime I can make an electronic funds transfer and pay off my mortgage, but I don't get rid of that tax deduction. So most people, they don't have their mortgage interest deduction. Their kids are now gone, or if they're not gone, they still live with you as adult children, you can't deduct them anymore. Retirees are generally not contributing money to IRAs or 401ks. You don't have that deduction anymore. If you are a business owner, you don't have those deductions anymore. And Congress keeps raising taxes because they are spending money like crazy. And not only that, there are initiatives like, hey, how about free college? Let's do forgiveness of student loans. Let's have Medicare for all. And the Congressional Budget Office says that those initiatives would cost at least $100 trillion over the next 10 years. So that's an average of $10 trillion a year. Do you know the IRS doesn't even collect half that much in taxes in a year? And just those initiatives would cost twice as much, and they still have the budget of everything else they're trying to run that costs them about $4.5 to $5 trillion. Hello, where's the money going to come from? That's why the Congressional Budget Office says that taxes will likely go to 50, 60, and 70%. So people aren't going to be in a lower tax bracket. How do you make yourself immune? You convert your money, your serious cash, to tax-free vehicles. Because if you have a tax-free account or accounts, it doesn't matter if taxes go to 50, 60, 70, you're immune. What's tax-free? I'm not talking about municipal bonds. They're okay. But frankly, there are a lot of municipalities that are in financial trouble and they file bankruptcy. They're not as safe as they were once perceived to be. And I've always earned 2 or 3% higher rates of return or more than municipal bond rates using my favorite vehicle, which I call the Laser Fund. Some people say, well, what about a Roth? Again, I've usually earned 2 to 3% higher rates of return in what I call my Laser Fund than a Roth typically earns. A Roth only has 2 advantages. You accumulate your money tax-free and you can take it out tax-free. You fund it with after-tax dollars. A Laser Fund has been around a lot longer than Roths. Roths started in 1997. The Laser Fund, a max-funded tax-advantaged insurance contract, which has those 2 advantages. You accumulate your money tax-free. You can access it tax-free, have tax-free income. But it has 4 additional advantages Roths will never have. But they've been around since 1913. Actually before that, but that's when the Internal Revenue Code first came around, because that's when federal income tax came to stay. Prior to 1913, they only instigated a federal income tax for wars, when they had to finance wars. After that, they brought it on permanently. So in the Internal Revenue Code, you only have to pay income tax on 3 types of income: earned, passive, and portfolio income. Earned income is when you go out and earn salaries, wages, and so forth. Passive income would be like rental income or lease income or whatever. Portfolio income would be interest and dividends. Most people's IRAs or 401ks are in those types of investments, and it's 100% taxable. So you want to get the money out strategically. This is called a strategic rollout, not a rollover, out of those IRAs or 401ks. Get the taxes over and done with in today's lower tax rates, because if you leave it there, you're going to pay a boatload of taxes by stringing it out. I can prove that to you mathematically. People will pay 2 and 3 and 4 times the amount of taxes that they really needed to pay by doing stretch IRAs and taking RMDs, required minimum distributions. When you get the taxes over with, you take the net after-tax money and you put it into a tax-free laser fund is what I would recommend. You want it to be tax-free from now on, so you're immune from taxes. You eliminate that danger. What's the second danger? The second danger is outliving your money, primarily due to inflation, the cost of living going up. If inflation at its true rate, 5-10% or more, will double the cost of living every 7 years, every 10 years. That means in 7 or 10 years, if you could have gotten by on $50,000 a year when you started at retirement, 7-10 years later, you're going to need $100,000 to buy the same gallons of gas, loaves of bread, haircuts that you could have bought for $50,000 before. And in another 7 to 10 years, you're going to need $200,000. It keeps doubling. And so people don't take that into account. So you want to eliminate the danger of inflation eroding away your purchasing power by linking your returns on where your money is to the things that inflate. See, I don't like inflation probably any more than you do, but it doesn't hurt me. It helps me. I've always been able to earn at least 5.5% greater than the inflation rate at the time because I link my returns using indexing to the things that inflate. If inflation is 5, I earn at least 10. If it's 10, I've earned 15 or more average. If it goes to 15, I earn 20. If it goes to 20, I earn to 25. And people go, huh? How do you do that? You simply have your money linked to the things that are going up in price, the inflation rate. It's so easy, but you wouldn't believe how many advisors don't know or understand how to do what I just said. And that's provided using indexing, which is a strategy where you make money when the market goes up, but you do not lose when it goes down, which comes to solving the third danger, eliminating it, making yourself immune from market volatility, in addition to being immune from taxes and inflation. Indexing allows me to have my money safely tucked in an insurance institution. Every million will sit there and earn, let's say, an average of 4 or 5% in their general account portfolio. If I feel bullish about America, I can link my returns to an index or indices of my choice. But if I feel bearish about America, I think we're headed for a recession, I can just settle for the 5%, let's say. So from 2000 to 2010, during the down years after 9/11, I just said, you know what, just pay me the 5%. 5% on $1 million is 50 grand. It's tax-free if I take it out or if I leave it there, it compounds tax-free. But if I feel like the economy is going to grow, then I can link my returns to an index like the S&P 500. So there were many years I linked my returns to an index. That means if the S&P goes up 10, the insurance company must pay me. They're contractually obligated to pay me whatever the S&P does. They have to pay me 10 or 15. They do it up to a cap. Why do they cap it? The caps back then were 16%, and so there were some years I was capped at 16%, even though the S&P did a little bit higher. Why do I do that? Because my million is not invested in the market. They don't have $1 million of my money to invest in the market. My million has to stay safe in the insurance company earning 5. What I did is I said, you can take the 5% interest, the $50,000, and do whatever you need to do with that $50,000 to have the wherewithal to pay me whatever the S&P does. But don't you dare lose my million of principal. So my million is safe. I relinquish the for sure 5%, and they buy upside options in the index of my choice, like the S&P 500. If it goes up 10, 15, they pay me up to 16%. In 2017, I earned 25%. That was the cap then. But if the market loses, the options expire worthless. I didn't earn anything, but I didn't lose the million that I started with. This is called indexing. And I use indexing because out of most 10-year periods, you'll have 7 up years versus 3 down years. In that worst decade, 2000 to 2010, there were 5 down years. 5 years you would have earned 0, but you wouldn't have lost. The other 5 years, you would have only kept out 2. You would have averaged 7.23%. a million would have doubled to 2 million. Most people in America, their million was barely back to a million again after 10 years. By using rebalancing, by 2012, most people using indexing had 3 million for their million. Most Americans were barely back to the original million they started with 12 years earlier. So you eliminate the danger of market volatility by using indexing. So what's the big takeaway here? So you protect your retirement investments by eliminating the three greatest dangers that cause people to outlive their money: taxes, inflation, and market volatility. You eliminate the dangers of taxes. You make yourself immune by converting from your tax-deferred accounts to tax-free. You eliminate the danger of inflation by linking your returns to the things that inflate so you won't outlive your money. You'll keep up with the cost of living. You eliminate the danger of market volatility by getting your money out of the market and allowing yourself to participate when the market goes up, but not lose when it goes down, because your money's no longer in the market, but you get to link your returns to the things that are going on in the market to benefit. Now, how do you do this? This is accomplished best by using a max-funded indexed universal life insurance contract. This is where I have earned average returns of 7 to 10%. I earned 7% just using indexing. By adding rebalancing every year to that strategy, I have earned 11%, netting 10% for the last 27 years. How can you do this? I've written 11 books. My most recent book is flying off of our warehouse shelves. I want to gift one of these to you. It's 300 pages. Be ready to learn. There's 14 chapters in this side of the book that have all kinds of charts and graphs of how this works. I call it the Laser Fund. LASER is an acronym that stands for Liquid Assets Safely Earning Returns. And so this is what I call the Laser Fund, my max funded indexed universal life. This Laser Fund will eliminate the dangers of taxes, inflation, and market volatility. If you learn more, not from charts and graphs, but from stories, you flip the book over and you read this side, which has 62 actual client stories and examples showing how people do not outlive their money. You'll see couples in here that we took from the highest tax bracket to a 0% bracket. You're going to see a couple in here that started out with about $2 million. They now have $8 million, generating $800,000 a year of tax-free income. They're in a 0% tax bracket. If you want to claim your free copy of this book, which is actually 2 books in one, I'll pay for the book. You simply go to laserfund.com, L-A-S-E-R, fund.com, and pay $5.95 shipping and handling. I'll send out the book. I'll pay for the book, but claim your free copy. And if you'd like to listen and learn or watch and learn, there's also audio and video educational content there for you. Also, my passion is to help you, teach you correct principles, and then you can govern yourself to be able to not outlive your money and protect your hard-earned investments to be able to last as long as you do.